Savera. Welcome, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sitin.
And
We have Dr. Lim also, I
we
think.
are,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have Dr. Lim
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah,
Good
namaste.
morning, good morning.
Hello, Doctor. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, morning, yeah.
Okay. So, before starting the discussion, we do Sunday meditation. So,
Yeah,
9 to
yeah.
0. So, let's start it. So, today we are going to read the SN 22.1 Nakula's Father, which is the part of Nakula Pitu Wagga of the Mula Apanasaka and of the Khanda Sangyukta of the Khanda Wagga Sangyukta. So SN 22.1 Nakula's father. Thus have I heard at one time the Bhagawa was dwelling among the Bhagas on Susuma Ragira in the Migadaya at the Besaka Vana. Then the Ghapati Nakula Pita approached the Bhagawa, having approached, paid homage to Bhagawa, and sat down to one place. Seated to one place, Nakula Pita said to the Bhagawa, Bante, I am now aged, old, advanced in years, having reached the last stage of life. I am afflicted in body and often alive. I rarely get to see the Bhagawa and the bhikkhus who are worthy of respect. I let the Bhagawa advise me, instruct me, so that it may lead to my long-term welfare and happiness. That's so true, Gahapati. That's so true, Gahapati. This body is indeed afflicted, fragile, and encased. For whoever carries around this body, even for a moment, claims health. What else is that but folly? Therefore, Gahapati, you should train yourself thus. The my body is afflicted, my mind shall be unafflicted. Thus, Gahapati, you should train yourself. Then the Gahapati Nakulapita, having delighted in and rejoiced at the Bhagavata words, rose from his seat, paid homage to the Bhagavanta, and departed, keeping him on his right. He then approached Ayasma Sariputta, having paid homage to Ayasma Sariputta, and sat down to one place. Seated to one place, Ayasma Sariputta said to Gahapati Nakula Pita, Gahapati, your faculties are serene, your complexion pure and bright. Have you today received some profound Dhamma from the Bhagava? How could it be otherwise, Bhante? Just now, I was anointed with the deathless ambrosia of the Dhamma by the Bhagava. But how, Gahapati, were you anointed with the deathless ambrosia of the Dhamma by the Bhagava? Here, Bhante, I approached the Bhagava, I approached the Bhagava, having approached, paid homage to Bhagava, and sat down to one place, seated to one place. I said to the Bhagavanta, Bante, I am now aged, old, advanced in years, having reached the last stage of life. I am afflicted in body and often lying aligned. I rarely get to see the Bhagava and bhikkhus who are worthy of respect. Let the Bhagava advise me, instruct me, so that it may lead to my long-term welfare and pleasant. When I said this, the Bhagava said to me, that's so true, Gahapati. That's so true, Gahapati. This body is indeed afflicted, fragile, and encased, for whoever carries around this body, even for a moment, claims health. What else is that but folly? Therefore, Gahapati, you should train yourself thus. The my body is afflicted, my mind shall be unafflicted. Thus, Gahapati, you should train yourself. In this way, Bante, I was anointed with the deathless ambrosia of Dhamma by the Bhagava. But Gahapati, did it not occur to you to ask the Bhagava further, Bante, how is one afflicted in body and afflicted in mind? And how is one afflicted in body but not afflicted in mind? Bante, we would come from afar to hear the meaning of this statement from Ayasma Sariputta himself. It would be good if Ayasma Sariputta would explain the meaning of this statement. Then, Gahapati, listen and attend closely. I will speak. Yes, Bante, Gahapati Nakula Pita replied to the Ayasma Sariputta. Ayasma Sariputta said, and how? Gahapati is one afflicted in body and afflicted in mind. Here, Gahapati, an untaught ordinary person who has no regard for Arya and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma, who has no regard for righteous ones and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma, regards form as self or self as possessing form or form as in self or self as in form. He is obsessed with the thought I am from his mind, as he is obsessed with this thought that form of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of form, there arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He regards feeling as self, or self as possessing feeling, or feeling as in self, or self as in feeling. He is obsessed with the thought, I am feeling, feeling is mine, as he is obsessed with this thought that feeling of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of feeling, there arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He regards perception as self, or self as possessing perception, or perception as in self, or self as in perception. He is obsessed with the thought, I am perception, perception is mine, as he is obsessed with this thought that perception of his changes and alters. With the change and the alteration of perception, there arise in him lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He regards mental action as self, or self as possessing mental action, or mental action as in self, or self as in mental action. He is obsessed with the thought, I am mental action is mine, as he is obsessed with the thought, those mental action of his change and alter. With the change and the alteration of the mental action, there arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He regards consciousness as self, or self as possessing consciousness, or consciousness as in self, or self as in consciousness. He is obsessed with the thought, I am consciousness, consciousness is mine, as he is obsessed with this thought that consciousness of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of consciousness, there arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. It is in this way, Ghapati, that one is afflicted in body and afflicted in mind. And how, Ghapati, is one afflicted in body but not afflicted in mind? Here, Ghapati, a well taught noble disciple who has regard for Arya and is skilled and disciplined in their Dhamma, who has regard for righteous ones and is skilled, sorry, and is disciplined in their Dhamma, does not regard form as self or self as possessing form or form as in self or self as in form. He is not obsessed with thought, I am form is mine, as he is not obsessed with this thought, that form of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of form, there do not arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He does not regard feeling as self or self as possessing feeling or feeling as in self or self as in feeling. He is not obsessed in the thought, I am feeling, feeling is mine, as he is not obsessed with this thought, that feeling of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of feeling, there do not arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He does not regard perception as self or self as possessing perception or perception as in self or self as in perception. He is not obsessed with the thought, I am perception, perception is mine, as he is not obsessed with this thought that perception of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of perception, there do not arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He does not regard mental action as self as possessing mental action, or mental action as in self or self as in mental action. He is not obsessed with the thought, I am mental action is mine, as he is not obsessed with this thought, those mental action of his change and alter. With the change and alteration of mental action, there do not arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. He does not regard consciousness as self, or self as possessing consciousness, or consciousness as in self, or self as in consciousness. He is not obsessed with the thought, I am consciousness is mine, as he is not obsessed with this thought that consciousness of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of consciousness, there do not arise in him sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. It is this way, Gahapati, that one is afflicted in body but not afflicted in mind. This is what Aisma Sariputta said. The Gahapati Nakula Pita was delighted and rejoiced in Ayasma Sariputta's words. So this was the first one.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. This is a long sutra, no?
Yes, very nice.
Long one.
Yes.
Actually, this one is very important, you know. Okay, this is the third level of sunya. Third level of sunya. Okay, you should observe that panchaskana. Okay, is not self. Okay, panchaskana is not you and it's not mine. I think we have seen this in many sutra, no? Okay, you always say that this is a panchaskanda, your body, okay, your feeling, okay, your body, your feeling, your thinking, okay, your accent, okay, then your consciousness. All these things are not mine. You know why? Because your body changes, no? It become old, okay, it will be affected. Okay, this body. Even the feeling, no. Sometimes we feel happy, sometimes we do not feel happy. Okay, okay. Then your mind are not static. Okay, this thing keep on changing, you know. Okay, and in this sutta I say that these changes will bring suffering. Okay, this changes will bring suffering. So that if you do not attach, to the Panchaskanda, okay, then you know that these changes may happen, and then it will not affect you, okay, then you can get rid of all the suffering. So you remember the Heart Sutra? The Heart Sutra, the first sentence Heart Sutra, this Avalokiteswara, okay, practicing the Panya Paramita, okay, he observed that the Panchaskara are empty in nature, no? Okay, and remove all the suffering. Okay, so you must observe your Panchaskara, okay, your Panchaskara as empty in nature, no? It's an illusion, okay, it's an illusion. So you did this work comprises of Panchaskara. This world. So this world is a huge illusion. Okay, there is a huge illusion. So you must get out of this illusion. You should not be affected by this illusion, and you must get out of this illusion. And this is the third level of sunya. You see, the first level of sunya is river come. Okay, come down your mind. Okay, second level is you observe your breathing. Observe your breathing, scanning the body. Okay, the second level. Okay, the third level also you look into the panchaskanda and observe that they are empty in nature and you do not attach to them. And this sutra give a lengthy explanation on that. Okay, these are things. So that you know that this will be the third level of sunya. Okay, panchaskanda are empty in nature. Okay, so if you can observe that panchaskara empty in nature, so that when your body becomes old, you do not get affected. You know, oh, this thing is going to happen to my body. Then you're feeling. Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you do not feel happy, or you take it easy. This thing. Then your mind sometimes agitated, sometimes it's calm, sometimes not calm. You also take it easy. Okay, then your action, they are like sometimes we regret a lot of action. Our action sometimes it's not very good. Okay, sometimes you committed some mistake, so we regret our action. So that you have no regret where this thing you try to observe the Panchasila, okay, the Panchasila, okay, so that your action will be always true to the Panchasila, okay, so that you have no regret. Then after that, your consciousness. Okay, the consciousness of self. Many people thought that consciousness is self, so when you die, consciousness also disappear. No? When you die, consciousness also disappears. No? So what is when you die? What is left actually is a collection of karma, and also this is a collection of karma, and also this a memory. Okay, then it passes to the second life. This thing. So the panchaskarma will dissolve at the time of death. When we die, Panchaskanda dissolves. Okay, it will bring to the next life with the Panchaskanda. Okay, whatever you bring is your karma to the next life. So you cut short of this, no, okay, so that no more rebirth. No more rebirth. So this is very important. So this is the third level of sunya. So can you understand? This is the third level of sunya.
Yeah, and doctor, just to make it clear, when you say that the Panchaskanda are empty in nature, basically it means that they are not static, they are not fixed. They will always change depending on situation.
Because it's not static, it's not in nature. No?
Yeah.
You see that the body. Like this today, I travel a lot, no? Then I have my stomach problem, no? Okay, for example, this thing. So these are not static. Yeah, this, when the thing are not static, it cause suffering, You're feeling, you're not feeling good all the time. Sometimes you don't feel good, sometimes you feel good, Okay, so you should get rid of your feeling. You should not let your feeling affect you, Okay, this thing. Then your thinking. Okay, sometimes I'm thinking agitated, sometimes I'm thinking of peaceful, sometimes I'm thinking I'm not treated. It's not static, When it's not static, it's cause suffering. Okay, cause suffering. Okay, then your action is your action is to fulfill the Panchaskala. So if you break Panchaskala, you break Panchaskala, you're going to have suffering. You're going to have suffering. Okay, this is the thing. So these are things is say that the Panchaskanda are not static in nature, and they are always an alternation, That is changes always cause suffering. So you must observe this Panchaskanda carefully, okay, and you should not attach to this Panchaskanda Okay, get rid of it, then you can get rid of all the suffering.
And doctor, you also said that consciousness itself is not fixed and static. That also changes every time. And specifically, what happens after death is even your consciousness goes away. But you gave a nice example last time of Devdatta, where Buddha says that even if Devdatta passes away, okay, he's like my withered flower. The fragrance is always going to be there. So that means that
Understand?
what we
Yeah.
do in our life, the fragrance is what is going to matter, whether it's a good fragrance or a bad fragrance.
Yeah. The Buddha said that those who practice him by the flower, sometimes the flower withered away, but the fragrance is there.
Yeah.
That's why he said he's not worried about this Devadatta. Devadatta like a flower, no? It withered away, but the fragrance is there. Okay, this thing because of the practice, no. Eventually, Devadatta will become Buddha. Okay, even though he's very, very crooked at this moment, this is the thing. Okay, that's why this is the third level, and it's also the third level of yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, the unit of sunyata and
Rupa.
rupa. Okay, it's a panchaskandha rupa.
Yeah.
Panchaskandha rupa. Okay, so that your supreme consciousness of sunyata. Okay, so you need to union these two. So you will not be affected by the panchaskandha. Okay, you will not affected by the changes. No. Okay, so this need a lot of practice. No, need a lot of practice so that when you practice, you keep on observing. No, so that these changes will not affect your mind. This will not make you unhappy, so that you can get rid of all your suffering.
And doctor, also to bring attention, remember that in the agamas we were doing, the same statement had come. This is not me. This is not mine. It has
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
on coming again
And
and
this is
again.
not mine. Yeah. It's not me, and it's not even mine.
Ah.
It do not belong to me. And it's not me, it's not mine, it do not belong to me.
And
This Panchaskala do not belong to me here.
in the Nikaya also it is
Even
the
this
same.
body do not belong to us. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
When you die, you cannot carry around this body, and this body does not belong to you.
No, I like your analogy, doctor. This body is like a bio robot.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're in the matrix. You're in the illusion,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
illusion world. Of course, you have to be very careful when you say illusion. Doesn't mean that you have to stop doing everything. You still have to do your function because if you are not getting out of this illusion, you still have to follow the rules. You have to live the way. These are things. That's why it's very important that you need a key, to get out from this illusion. So this sutra is the key, for you to get out from this the illusional world. Okay, that's why the Sariputta said that whatever affected in your body, whatever is changes in your body, changes in your feeling, changes in your thinking, changes in your action, changes in your this thing. Take it easy. Okay, do not attach to it. Okay, then you will not be, even though your body is affected, your mind will not be affected.
And doctor, also let us clear this very clearly, that when we say it is empty in nature, or we are saying it is an illusion, we are not saying that it does not exist. We are saying that it does not exist in its fixed form forever. It will change depending on conditions.
Yeah, you see, when you come to a stationary, it exists now. At this very moment, of course, it exists.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, my handphone in front of me, of course, it exists now. Okay, this is a thing now. Okay, now after 100 years, where is my handphone? It no longer exists. This thing now. So in a short while, it exists. In a short while, it exists now. In a long time, it do not exist. In a long time, it do not exist. Our body, after 100 years, where is our body? Become dust, no? Become dust.
Like
This thing.
like Dr. Diamond Sutra also says, you should see it as a dewdrop on the leaf, the lightning in the sky, and something else. I don't remember.
Bubble, like the bubble.
Ah,
The
as a
bubble,
bubble. Yeah.
the bubble, yeah. So when the bubble bursts, it disappears.
Yeah. True.
So when the
Yeah.
bubble is strong, you see all the color, you see all the bubble, you see all these things, but it bursts. So your body is like a bubble.
Correct.
So stationary it exists.
Doctor,
Stationary it
why?
exists. I'm talking to you, no? I cannot say that my handphone do not exist. Okay, it exists. This thing. That's why when we say that it is an illusion, you have to be very careful. No? It's fake. You must be careful. No? Okay, in a short while it exists. No? So Buddha say that this world is neither exist or not exist. It's neither exist or not exist. This is the thing. So that this a little bit. You have to keep on putting your thinking on that. Keep putting your thinking on that. So this become a third level.
Yeah, yeah. And doctor, let's take the next verse. Second verse for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a long sutra.
But now, Dr. Nikaya is also getting interesting because it is very similar to Agamas now. You can see
Yeah, no. Both are the same, no.
both are
There's no
same.
difference between the both are the teaching from Buddha. Only thing they are compiled by different group of scholars. The Nikaya compiled in the south, Agama compiled in the north. That's all. They are the teaching of Buddha. No? Both are teaching from Buddha. So we should respect both of them equally.
Yeah,
We
true.
should not differentiate the two. Nikaya and Agama, we shall not differentiate them. They are the same. They are the same.
True. And actually, it's our school, doctor. Now we are finding so many similarities. We don't see any differentiation between both. And I don't see a point while others are finding differentiation in something which is so similar.
No, they are the same. They are the
Yeah,
same, but they complement each other, because sometimes the focus are different.
true.
The Nikaya and Agama are very structured, they put down the teaching, step by step, very structured, and Nikaya are more free flowing. Nikaya, but they are the same,
Yeah,
They are the same. These are the things. That's why we should respect. We should read the two together. We
yeah,
should read the two together and respect them the same. And we shall not differentiate the two.
correct.
Don't differentiate the two. They are the teaching from Buddha. No?
Yeah. Okay, let's take Seton.
okay.
Let's take the next verse.
Yeah, the second verse. Yeah.
As Samyutta
Development of
Nikaya,
immersion.
Development of immersion.
yes, Samyutta Nikaya 22.5, development of immersion, Samadhi Sutta. Thus have I heard, dwelling at Savatthi, then said this, there the Bhagava addressed the bhikkhus, develop concentration. A bhikkhu who is concentrated understands things as they really are, and what does he understand as it really is?
Sit in 1 minute. Doctor, this is what we are doing translation as it is. And if you look at this, thus have I heard, and then there is ... dwelling at Savatthi ... then ... said this. So there means the note taker has actually, just left that part. So since we are following as it is, we have also kept it that way.
Yeah, actually, is yeah, actually is
Nikaya always do the kind of sometimes Nikaya sometimes they what you call it they avoid this.
Okay.
This
yeah,
characteristics. This thing will not happen in Agama. In Nikaya, it's always like this. It's they teach them in Savatthi. Directly explain in Savatthi. Okay, these are the things. So, but they might leave it, this is not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No, just wanted to clear it.
Yes.
Just wanted you to be cleared and just wanted us to be clear that we are not doing this. It is like that only and we are keeping it as it is.
yes,
Yeah. Keep, is this, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the
Yeah.
Nikaya sometimes they have a lot of detail, They have a lot of.
yes.
Yeah,
Sometimes there is some repetition, so we skip those lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's
Yes.
continue.
Continue.
Yes. Thus have I heard, dwelling at Savatthi, then said this, there the Bhagava addressed the bhikkhus. Bhikkhus develop concentration. A bhikkhu who is concentrated understands things as they really are, and what does he understand as it really is? He understands the arising and passing away of form, the arising and passing away of feeling, the arising and passing away of perception, the arising and passing away of mental action, and the arising and passing away of consciousness. And what bhikkhus is the arising of form. What is the arising of feeling? What is the arising of perception? What is the arising of mental action? What is the arising of consciousness? Here, bhikkhus. A bhikkhu delights in and cling to something. And what does he delight in, welcome, and cling to? He delights in, welcomes, and clings to form. When he delights in, welcomes, and clings to form, delight arises. That delight in form is clinging. With clinging as condition, existence arises. With existence as condition, birth arises. With birth as condition, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair arise. Thus is the arising of this whole mass of suffering. He delights in, welcomes, and clings to feeling, perception, mental action, consciousness. When he delights in, welcomes, and clings to consciousness, delight arises. That delight is consciousness is clinging. With clinging as condition, bhava, existence arises. With existence as condition, birth arises. With birth as condition, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair arise. Thus is the arising of the whole mass of suffering. This, bhikkhus, is the arising of form. This is the arising of feeling. This is the arising of perception. This is the arising of mental action. This is the arising of consciousness. And what, bhikkhus, is the passing away of form, feeling, perception, mental action, consciousness. Here, bhikkhus. A bhikkhu does not delight in, welcome, or cling to something. And what does he not delight in, welcome, or cling to? He does not delight in, welcome, or cling to form. When he does not delight in, welcome, or cling to form, the delight in form ceases. With the cessation of delight, clinging ceases. With the cessation of clinging, existence ceases. Thus is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. He does not delight in, welcome, or cling to feeling, perception, mental action, consciousness. When he does not delight in, welcome, or cling to consciousness, the delight in consciousness ceases. With the cessation of delight, clinging ceases. With the cessation of clinging, existence ceases. Thus is the cessation of the whole mass of suffering. This is the ending of the form, feeling, perception, mental action, and consciousness. So this was the second one.
Yeah, yeah.
Second
I
means
think you,
the
you, you still remember when we study Satipatthana, we said that there are four stages, no? Okay? Something arises, first arises, then it develops, then it decays, then it ceases. Okay? So that something is born, it grows, it decays, then it always ceases. Okay? So that in the Satipatthana say that you observe the form, okay? You observe the feeling, you observe the mind, you observe the action, you observe the, what you call, your consciousness, you observe, okay, it was this. You develop, after that, it was this. So this is a very important practice now. It is a very important practice now. That means things, if you see the four stages now, the arises of something, okay, the development, it arises, then it develops, no? Then it decay. Decay after that, it will completely cease. So, even you have any suffering, you observe when the suffering gone away. Okay, so even you have any bad thinking in your mind, you observe it, then the bad thinking will go away. So if any pains in the body, you observe the pains goes away. So this is a very good way to of pain management. Okay, so this is the four stages of this what you call the birth. Okay, the cessation. So these are very important. Yeah.
And
So when you
doctor.
follow this thing, yeah,
And doctor, in our practice, when we do this, we actually can experience it. When we do a red belt, when we do a orange belt, yellow belt, we see things to start. Like for example, when a new person starts practicing shunya, he has these flood of thoughts, but
yeah, yeah,
we tell him to keep focus on
yeah, yeah,
counting. Make sure you do that. So then,
yeah,
over
yeah,
a
yeah,
period of time,
yeah,
he's seen that those arising of the thoughts have just stopped, and nothing bothers him.
yeah. Stop, stop. Yeah, then it sits, no, it
Yes,
sits, it disappear. Yeah, yeah. And this how you get rid of your suffering.
correct.
When it disappear, your fear also disappear. No worry, no fear, no suffering. Okay, this is the emptiness. When you empty something, okay, because of the emptiness, no, okay, then you have no worry, you have no fear, you have no worry, you have no fear, then you have no illusion, You will not have any illusion. So when you know you have no illusion, you see things clearly, you achieve the nirvana. This thing. So actually, the teaching, you see, the teaching left and right, whatever thing, they are referring to the same thing. The
Yeah.
teaching are referring to the same thing. Okay, this thing. So when you observe this thing, and this is the higher level of practice. Yeah.
But the beauty is, doctor, even though they are talking about the same thing, the enjoyment and the joy of knowing it and listening it and reading is unlimited. You just feel like listening again and again to the words of the Buddha.
Yeah, yeah. It's a diamond,
Yeah,
with many facets. Yeah, this is when Buddha is talking about something, he pointed it out in different facets, in
fantastic.
different facets, but it refers to the same thing. Okay,
Yeah,
so you should observe the panchaskanda. Okay, you should point five obstacle, so observe it, until it will not affect you anymore. Okay, then your suffering end, then
true.
you end your suffering. Yeah,
Yeah.
and how to detach from that is reverse counting.
Reverse counting, yeah. No other way.
You can always detach all the time. Then observing your breathing and scanning your body. Okay, then after that your breathing become very subtle, then you stop scanning your breathing. Okay, because it's too subtle, then you think of the panchaskanda. And they are not mine, they are not me, and it's not belong to me. It's not me and it's not mine. It do not belong to me. Okay, even this body also do not belong to us. No? This
Yeah.
body after 100 it become dust. It do not belong to us. Okay, so that's even the handphone. Okay, now I'm using the handphone to zoom video. After 100 years, where is the handphone? You become the garbage. This thing. Okay, so you disintegrated. Okay, this other thing. So then you should understand all these things. Then you will not have any suffering. Your suffering will be ended.
Yeah. So, doctor, let's take one more sutra we have. Or no? So we
Yes,
have.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Let's take one more sutra, doctor. We have 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, one more. One more. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, SANYUTTA NIKAAYA 22.7, Anxiety because of grasping. At Savatthi, Bhikkhus, I will teach you about agitation due to clinging and non-agitation due to non-clinging. Listen and attend closely, I will speak. Yes, Bhante, the bhikkhus replied. The Bhagava said this, and how bhikkhus does agitation due to clinging occur? Here, an untaught ordinary person who has no regard for Ariyas and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma, who has no regard for righteous ones and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma, regards form as self or self as possessing form, or form as in self, or self as in form. That form of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of form, his consciousness becomes preoccupied with the change of form. Agitation and the constellation of mental states form bonds of that preoccupation that take hold of his mind. Because his mind is preoccupied, he becomes anxious, distressed, concerned, and agitated due to clinging. He regards feeling as self, or self as possessing feeling, or feeling as in self, or self as in feeling. That feeling of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of feeling, his consciousness becomes preoccupied with the change of feeling. Agitation and constellation of mental states born of that preoccupation that take hold of his mind. Because his mind is preoccupied, he becomes anxious, distressed, concerned, and agitated due to clinging. He, regard, he regards perception as self. He regards mental action as self, or self as possessing mental action, or mental action as in self, or self as mental action. Those mental action of his change and alter. With the change and alteration of mental action, his consciousness becomes preoccupied with the change of mental action. Agitation and the constellation of mental states born of that preoccupation that take hold of his mind. Because his mind is preoccupied, he becomes anxious, distressed, concerned, and agitated due to clinging. He regards consciousness as self, or self as possessing consciousness, or consciousness as in self, or self as in consciousness. That consciousness of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of consciousness, his consciousness becomes preoccupied with the change of consciousness. Agitation and a constellation of mental states born of that preoccupation take hold of his mind. Because his mind is preoccupied, he becomes anxious, distressed, concerned, and agitated due to clinging. This because is how agitation due to clinging occurs, and how because does non-agitation due to non-clinging occur. Here, a well-taught noble disciple who has regard for Aryas and is skilled and disciplined in their Dhamma, who has regard for righteous ones and is skilled and disciplined in their Dhamma, does not regard form as self, or self as possessing form, or form as in self, or self as in form. That form of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of form, his consciousness does not become preoccupied with the change of form. No agitation and no constellation of mental states born of that preoccupation take hold of his mind. Because his mind is not preoccupied, he does not become anxious, distressed, concerned, or agitated due to non-clinging. He does not regard feeling as self, or self as possessing feeling, or feeling as in self, or self as in feeling. That feeling of his changes and alters. With the change and alteration of feeling, his consciousness does not become preoccupied with the change of feeling. No agitation and no constellation of mental states born of the preoccupation take hold of his mind. Because his mind is not occupied, he does not become anxious, distressed, concerned, or agitated due to non-clinging. He does not regard perception as self. He does not regard mental action as self, or self as possessing mental action, or mental action as in self, or self as mental action. Those mental action of his change and alter. With the change and alteration of mental action, his consciousness does not become preoccupied with the change of mental action. No agitation and the constellation of the mental states born of that preoccupation take hold of his mind. Because his mind is not preoccupied, he does not become anxious, distressed, concerned, or agitated due to non-clinging. He does not regard consciousness as self or self-possessing consciousness or consciousness as in self or self as in consciousness. That consciousness of his changes and alters with the changes and alteration of consciousness. His consciousness does not become preoccupied with the change of consciousness. No agitation and no constellation of mental states born of that preoccupation take hold of his mind because his mind is not preoccupied, he does not become anxious, distressed, concerned, or agitated due to non-clinging. This because is how non-agitation due to non-clinging occurs. So this was the third one.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
doctor.
So the key word is cringing, no? Cling. You shall not cling to Panchaskanda. Okay, this is the this thing, and do not take them as self. You see in India, no, the many of these yoga school, okay, they practice on feeling. They practice on feeling. Sometimes they practice on mind. Okay, they stress a lot on the mind. So they take mind as themselves, no. They take a mind is something that very important. So they keep on practicing on the mind. This is wrong, no. This is wrong. So those practice of Panchaskanda, they achieve nothing. They, no matter how they practice, no, they will not reach the stage of arhat. They will not reach the stage of this avatar. Not possible. The thing. Okay, that's why we have to be very careful. Okay, that's why when we need to clarify yoga, no, the true yoga to the society. Okay, so yoga should not based on the body, should not based on feeling, should not be based on thinking, based on accent, and based on this consciousness. But you look at India, those are yoga school. First is on the body, they turn and twist their body. This thing, then they become acrobat, Okay, then feel relaxed. They want to feel relaxed. Now then they imagine themselves in the garden. Sometimes they imagine themselves in the garden and looking at the flower, looking at the butterfly. No, they are practicing on the feeling. Okay, this all these are wrong practice. Okay, this kind of practice would not bring any good to you, and this practice only make you attached to yourself. No, okay, then you think that this thinking is you. Then you think that the mind is you. Okay, then this thinking and mind keep on changing, and this changing cause a lot of suffering in you. Okay, so unless you do not cling to it, then the suffering will cease. Okay, uh, when you study this, then you should understand the first sentence of the Heart Sutra. No? Okay, then this Avalokitesvara see that the Panchaskanda are empty in nature. No? Then he removed all the suffering, and this is how he removed all the suffering. So now you should know. Okay, so you should read this thing together with Heart Sutra. Yeah.
Yeah, and doctor, the very easy way to find out if somebody is clinging onto something is if they are anxious, they are distressed, they are concerned and agitated. You should know they are
Yeah.
they are clinging onto something.
Thing, no? Worry and anxious. If they worry, if they are anxious, that means they're practicing. True, they have a lot of anxiety in them. Look at the eye. And they keep on quarreling with people. No? They keep on having confrontation with people. Everywhere they go, so they quarrel, they confront. No. Why should you confront? This is the thing. Your practice, why should you go and confront with people? In our
Because
senior,
doc,
confront with no one.
no,
Confront with no one. Why should you confront with people? Yeah. This thing. And this will keep on arguing with people. And they keep on in debate, keep on in debate, keep on in a fighting mood. They try to defend themselves, and they also many scholars are like them because what they are doing doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. These are the thing. Okay, you look
so
at
so doctor, you know why this is very important, as you said today about the yoga school, and there are many people who are practicing yoga, but they live with anxiety, they live with distress, they live with concern, they are always agitated, and they call themselves yoga practitioner, which actually is not the case, you know.
And I know this is not the case. Not the case. So they should get rid of worry. They should get rid of the fear. No? Worry and fear. Fear is always accompanied with the worry. Worry and fear always come together. This thing. No worry, no fear. Okay. No worry, no fear. Then this no illusion. See thing as it is not. Seeing thing like this is no dream to it, you know. Okay, this thing. So when you read this thing, then you try to read the Heart Sutra. No? Try to read the Heart Sutra. Okay. Then the Heart Sutra is a summary of all these things. Okay, so that you can understand clearly. That's why agamas and this Nikaya is very important. For you to understand Heart Sutra, for you to understand Dharma Sutra, you must go to agamas and Nikaya. Then you can understand this higher teaching easier. Otherwise, you directly study Heart Sutra, you directly study this Dharma Sutra, you may not understand much. No? Okay, you need to go through this basic training, this kind of basic coaching. No? It's very important for you to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Doctor, let's open the floor for questions, if any, because we are almost time up.
Q&A.
Is there any
Yeah.
question?
So, certainly, you have any
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, any question? Yeah.
Any questions here? No, I think no. Very clear today, Doctor. It is all about Panchaskandha.
So we make some summary, you know. Today we are talking about Panchaskala. Okay, your mind, your feeling, okay, your thinking, your mental action, you know, your action and your consciousness is not you. Okay, you are not represented by them. Many times we use this body to represent us, you know. Okay, so we try to keep it handsome, try to keep it slim, try to give the best presentation of ourselves. No, you betray this is me. Okay, this is me, you know. So I present myself to people like this. Actually, this body is not belong to you. This body, if this body belong to you, you should be able to control your body. How can you control your body? Okay, like my hair is now become half only. So my hair just thing is this, your hair become less and less. I say, yeah, what do you expect? I always say something, you know, I no longer 20, you know. It's this thing. Then my memory also started to fail. Okay, sometimes I cannot remember things, you know, when I'm young, my memory is very sharp, you know. So now we have to accept all these changes in life because this body is not me. Okay, one day we have to say bye bye to this body. One day you say bye bye to your feeling. One day you say bye bye to your thinking. You know, to this thing. You know, so that don't cling to them. You know, don't cling to them. It is not you. It's not you. So who is you? Now who is you? Okay, non-clinging. You cling to nothing, then it's you. This thing. Okay. Then like Dhamma Sutra say that you focus by not clinging to anything. You stay focused by clinging to nothing, and that is the real focus. It's not, but not easy, not easy. But you need to practice now. That's how the third level of practice. That's why Heart Sutra is the third level of yoga. The Heart Sutra is the layer. So now we need to promote the real practice of yoga. Okay, to replace the wrong concept. Otherwise, they practice for one whole life. No, they're wasting their time. No. They're wasting their whole life practicing something that is run after the Panchaskala, no. And they get nothing. They get nothing. Yeah.
So, Doctor, to conclude, the Heart Sutra concludes with Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswa. That means we all have to go along. We not alone, but together we have to make sure that everybody, as much as we can, promote Shunya, spread it as much as we can to people who will, have to realize, will realize, who cannot leave them.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You keep on promoting.
Now, actually, the Buddha teaching at two level, basic level and advanced level. In Nikaya and in Agamas, these are the basic level. And it's very easy to understand, you know. Okay, when we come to the Heart Sutra, we come to the Diamond Sutra, Vimalakirti Sutra, okay, the Lotus Sutra, they are higher level. Okay, this higher level is not easy to understand. It's not easy to understand. But you when you have this basic understanding, you know, then you go for the higher level, no problem. Because you are trained, you know. Okay? That's why many people they go directly into Heart Sutra, they understand nothing. They directly go to Heart Sutra, they understand nothing. So they directly go to Diamond Sutra, so they keep on telling me, I don't understand anything. No, 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 don't worry about understanding. Okay, you understand. Okay, keep on reading, Okay, read Agamas, read this Nikaya, then later on, you read more, then when you come back to Diamond Sutra again, you understand. Now, the key word is that the world is an illusion. Always remember that, The world is an illusion. So whether it's a Diamond Sutra, whether it is this what I call this Heart Sutra, whether this Agamas, this Nikaya, give you the key. Okay, the key to get out from this illusion, Okay, this thing. So that the key is not to do something good, so that you're born in a good state. No, no, no. This is not the teaching of Buddha. Okay, many people say do something good, then you're born in something good state. The teaching of Buddha, no, this is not teaching. Teaching of Buddha is that you cut short of your clinging. Don't cling to all these things, Then no more rebirth. That is the real teaching. No more rebirth. This is a real teaching of Buddha, but it's not easy. It's not easy. But even though not easy, you have to practice, That's how we need to practice this other thing. Okay. So now the three things, First the practice of sunya. Okay, the practice of sunya. Then the practice of yoga. Okay, then the practice of all the teaching, these are the things. So represented by three universities. Okay, the University of this Taxila is Agamas. Okay, there's a Nalanda, this yoga, three level of yoga is by Nalanda. Then this Sri Pawa is on the Sunya. Sri Pawa on the Sunya, and also this Nikaya.
Nikaya.
Nikaya also is I think is compiled in a Sri Pawa. Okay, this thing. Okay, Sri Pawa compiled a lot of sutra. Even the Diamond Sutra, the Vimarakati Sutra, the Lotus Sutra, all these long sutra compiled in Sri Pawa. So Sri Pawa actually is very, very important, Okay, and it represented by Nagarjuna, okay, Nagarjuna, and also with the Bodhidharma. Okay, so Bodhidharma bring the whole shipload of this thing to China, and everything put into the Shaolin temple, the Shaolin temple, so that you have three devastated in China. Okay, the one is this Taxila is brought by this Kumarajiva. Taxila, 6 telescope. Okay, then the Nanda is brought by this Senchang. Okay, Senchang brought this thing. Then this Sri Bawa is brought by this Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is the latest, and the most complete. This until today, the school is still teaching now until today. Okay, then and he brought in the samurai. He brought in the militant. He trained the monk to become a samurai monk, so they can protect the sutra until today. Okay, and this one also is practiced in Japan. Okay, that's why the Japan have actually the most complete collection of sutra is in Japan. China, because of the war, because of the war, a lot of burning. Actually, don't worry about the burning university. The university always burn down. This thing, So in India, people still get so excited with the burning. No, 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 no. It burned down. We established it back, We established it back. Our university always burn down. Alexandra University also burn down. Okay, they all university also burn down. This thing, China. This Kumarajiwa burn down 3 times. This thing, this Swenchang one twice, I think. Swenchang was the only thing not burned now is by this Salim. They are protected by samurai. That's all. This a thing. But today, I think with all the online, with everything, I think burning is not possible anymore. Okay, put put everything on online with all the AI, with everything, So now the world technology is so fantastic, So we are no longer worried about all these things. Okay, but it's time for us to re-establish back all this university.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are not interested in the campus, We are not interested in the physical form of the university. We are focused on the teaching.
Teaching.
Teaching is a soul of the university, It's a soul of the university. We are not interested in the body. Okay, so now in Nalanda, they spend so much effort to do all specific building, all this funny building, in Nalanda, what are they doing?
Doctor, I think where the teaching is,
There's nothing, I'm telling you.
like Doctor Diamond Sutra says, wherever the teaching is, the students and the teacher will be there. Wherever the student and teacher are there, there is the university.
Yeah. Not the body, Don't put a statue for Buddha. No, 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 no. You do not need a statue. No. The sutra is there. Buddha will be there, and his disciples will be there.
True.
Always there. Always there. And those, I especially those Tibetan, those Tantra one, they can see, they can see during our this gathering, during our gathering in what you call in this in Budaya, those Tibetan, I see the Rinpoche, okay, those they can see the dragon, the phoenix are coming. This we never practice for that. But
Yeah.
those Tantra one, they can see, they can see.
I
Our good friend Jasmine, they can always see this. Maybe maybe our Tibetan, this thing you all can see because that's in the tradition. I think in the Tibetan they always see, Okay, so you want to see anything, you ask a Tibetan, maybe they can check for us whether anyone is coming. And even our Sunyati, they see a lot of. They saw. They saw the goddess, they saw the deva. I think they saw they saw the angel. Then as soon as see many of them they sing it even without even though we do not test it, they see it, Okay, only things in our school emptiness. No, we don't go for this thing. That's why we see nothing. Okay, but this Tibetan tradition, this Tantra tradition, they can see that the angels coming in, the protective god coming in. So when when you chanting this Surangama, the Vajrapani is coming. Okay, so but of course this is you can believe or you not believe, up to you. Okay, this is the thing, but of course in Dharma Sutra say that when the sutra is there, Buddha is always there. Buddha is always there, and his disciple is always there. Okay,
Yeah.
so that sutra is the most important thing, not the statues,
True.
and not the puja. No need statue, no need puja, nothing. No. We do not do puja in our sunya. This other thing. We do not say that puja is no good, but that's not in our school. Okay,
Correct.
we don't go for this thing. We don't go for long hour of chanting. No, this is not in our school because we don't see any of this teaching in
The
agamas. No,
sutra.
none of the agamas and this thing ask you to go and chant for long hour. No. No. Whatever should be. If Buddha do not ask us to do whatever should be, go and do all these things. Okay, so that in our school we never go for long hour of chanting, but we go for long hour of study.
Study and lot of contemplation on what is being
There
taught.
are a lot of contemplation. That's what Buddha said. Listen carefully, and think carefully.
Ah,
We say so that you study carefully, and contemplate carefully.
contemplate.
Not chanting, not chanting.
Yeah, I think, Doctor, that would summarize today's session. Also, thank you for the summary. Yeah, any closing notes?
And I hope tomorrow I can join you because I am traveling.
Oh,
I'm in Europe now. I'm traveling back to Malaysia. I may reach what do you call? I may reach. I see. If I have time, I join you. If not,
Wha-
you please proceed.
yeah, I'm there. I'll proceed. No problem. Yeah, Doctor. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Doctor. Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you
See
so
you.
much.
Have a safe flight. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So now we are going to stop here for today, this session. So thank you so much, Doctor, for
Thank
your
you so much,
time.
Sedin, for taking this session.
And thank you. And I want to say thank you to all audience, offline audience and online audience, for your time. So we are going to meet tomorrow again. At what time we are going to meet? 7, right? Okay. 7. So till tomorrow. Bye bye. I want to say take care to all of you. So bye bye. Have a nice day.
दुनिया में, पूरी दुनिया में ये स्प्रेड होगा।
When India started to practice Sunya,
जब इंडिया ने प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू कर दिया शून्य का,
but the ancient Chinese described Sunya, described India.
जैसे जो चाइनीज थे पुराने, उन्होंने इंडिया के बारे में कुछ बताया है।
Simple,
वो एक साधारण देश है,
elegance,
लेकिन उसमें कुछ खूबसूरती है,
most importantly, majestic.
और सबसे बड़ी चीज है महान है।
Sabas India.
तो ये है इंडिया, साधारण, खूबसूरत और महान।
It was spread throughout India.
पूरी दुनिया में, पूरी इंडिया में ये स्प्रेड होगा।
When India started to